Again, you should all listen to the Hughes hearing from yesterday. It's extremely concerning, and it's related to the Attorney General's office, although I think the Attorney General's office did the right thing in that case, but it's a problem, I think, with the medical board. It should have been officially mentioned here, I think, in this. I have another clip to play, hopefully. This is former board member Judge Katherine Feinstein a couple of years back.
But I'm also seeing that people can be harmed in 550 days is a very old case. If it were a criminal case, it would be dismissed for violating speedy trial right. I got to be honest with you. We did a case yesterday that ended up being dismissed, in which the DAG had filed a discovery motion for necessary evidence 4 months before the hearing date and never obtained the evidence, didn't have the evidence to move forward, and took no action to enforce the discovery order in a 4-month period. And that's no enforcement. That's not a matter of vertical or non-vertical. And legally, there's nothing else there was no evidence. I mean, it wasn't even debatable that it was a case that could proceed.
And I'll have to get that case name from you, Kim, the one that Judge Feinstein just mentioned. I don't know if that's a vertical enforcement case, first of all. If we're having difficulty with evidence at trial.
No, please, let me make it clear. Mm-hmm. I understand what difficulty with evidence at trial is. I don't understand what the point is of filing a motion and then letting it sit for 4 months and not taking any steps to seek enforcement. So you don't have any evidence. So let me just make that clear. I mean, I'm not overly impressed yet, okay? Hopefully that'll come.
I've asked at least 3 meetings now for an update on this very thing that Judge Feinstein talked about, and Ms. Castro said she'd look into it. We've not heard a report on what she found. Isn't anybody else interested in what happened with that? This is what I meant yesterday by topics of being ignored and then just disappearing. Shortly after Judge Feinstein said this, she mysteriously disappeared from the board, with no announcements whatsoever. She must have been on to something. Judge Feinstein, if you're listening today, we appreciate you trying to take a stand.